What's up, my friends? Matt Hall here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you a closing script that's extremely effective, low pressure. It's a fantastic way to close people in your events and in your one-on-one interaction. So if you're excited to learn the script, give me some positive feedback, smash the like button. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, if you like training like this and you want me to do more of this, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the YouTube page. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified as well every time I do a new training like this, okay? So closing, first of all, the first thing I want to say is when you're closing, the closing process really starts with the first interaction, right? And so as much as you can, as soon as you walk into an event or as soon as you go into that one-on-one environment, if you can be smiling, have positive, open body language, and show people that you're there to serve them, that you're happy, and that you have confidence in what it is that you're presenting, that's going to go a long ways in helping you close, right? Now, I'm not an overly scripted person myself. I don't like to memorize a ton of different scripts, but I've found that some of the people that I coach and that I work with, and even me in the beginning, for sure, sometimes we don't have the confidence in what we should say, right? And the worst thing you can do at the end of a presentation is shy away from the close, right? You want to have a strong, confident, no pressure, but a powerful close inviting people to take action. I always like to give people a clear door for them to walk through, right? If they're in a room and they don't know, somebody's in the dark and they don't know where the door is, right? Fumbling around for the doorknob. Like some people, they're going to be committed enough and they're excited enough about what you're sharing that they're going to find the door and they're going to say, hey, Matt, I want to buy. How do I buy, right? But most people, you need to show them where the door is and give them a clear entrance to walk through. So that's what this script does. This is a series of, there's 6 parts to it, 5 questions and 1 statement mixed in the middle, okay? So this is how you start the closing process. The first question, and I'm going to have all of this typed out in the description for this video so that you can copy and paste it. I'm also going to have a blog post linked up that you can print out if you want to kind of have this print it out and really memorize these lines, okay, these questions. So the first thing is after your presentation, I hope you're doing some kind of presentation where you're educating and offering good value. After the presentation, you're going to go to the person and say, what did you like most about what you saw tonight? Okay, what did you like most about what you saw tonight? Or you could say, what interested you most about the products we presented about tonight, right? So essentially, you're looking for positive feedback, right? And 99% of the time, people are they found something that they liked, right? You may have the weird person every once in a while that's like, oh, I just didn't like any of it, right? In that case, move on to the next person, right? Let them leave. But most of the time, people are going to say, oh, I liked this, I liked this, and they might add in a negative piece of feedback as well. But they'll typically share what it is that they liked most, okay? And oftentimes, if you're in a weight loss company, for example, and they're looking to lose weight, they're probably going to say, well, I loved learning that, this about ketosis, or I loved learning this about balancing my metabolism, or this about this shake, right? And they'll share something that they are interested in related to something about them. So they're thinking, remember, we're always thinking about ourselves. So they have been watching this presentation thinking, what am I going to get out of this? So when you ask the question, what did you like most about what you saw? They're going to naturally share something that relates to them typically, okay? And if they don't, then ask them again, say, oh, awesome, what else, right? And try to get a couple of positive things that they got from the presentation, okay? Second part is to ask people, how serious are you about resolving these things right now? Right? So me, I'm in a health and wellness company. Every time I ask that first question, people from the presentation, they're going to have thought of different health issues or things that my products can serve, right? For you, it might be a little bit different, but this question still applies. How serious are you about resolving these things right now? Okay, and they're going to give you I'm pretty serious about it, like weight loss, I'm pretty serious about losing weight, or this health issue, I'm pretty serious about overcoming this, right? That's usually an indication of how ready they are to buy. Even if they say they're not high, it doesn't mean they're not going to close. But what I've found is the more serious people are, usually the larger kit you can point them to, right? If somebody's really serious about losing weight, as an example, they're probably willing to try more products than somebody that's just thinking about losing weight, right? And so if you're in a weight loss company, for example, and you've got a whole line of products that will help somebody lose weight, if they're pretty serious about weight, weight loss, you know that they're going to have a larger chance of losing weight if they buy that bigger kit. So you want to serve them on a higher level, serve them on a deeper level by pointing them to a larger kit, right? So that's the second question. How serious are you about resolving these things right now? Okay, listen to their feedback. Then step 3 is really, really powerful. This is the only statement in this whole process. And it's, if I were you, I would ... Okay, so you're saying, if I were you, knowing that you're pretty serious about losing weight, if I were you, I would look at this kit option. It has this, and has these benefits, right? So that if I were you, I would, it gives people a clear path. Again, that's a clear door where right there, so a lot of times, after that one statement, people will be like, okay, let's do it, right? If you give somebody a clear entrance and say, if I were you, this is what I would do, oftentimes they're going to do the same thing. And a lot of times you can even say, what I was in the same boat as you, and what I did is I bought this kit and I saw it benefit my family in this way, or my health in this way, or me, and whatever, make it relevant to your products, right? So that's step 3. If I were you, I would ... Okay. Again, if you're starting to lose track of the sequence, it's in the description for this video. Then the fourth, these other questions come up when somebody is they're a little bit resistant, right? There's still some resistance. You can tell they're not really committing after that statement. If I were you, I would, right? That's really like a very soft close. So now is the time to kind of help people overcome objections. So if they're like, oh, that's cool. Maybe then you're going to bring up this question. You're going to say, what are the factors you're considering in making this decision? Okay. And they're going to bring up, whatever objections they may have. And they might, there's 2 questions here, because sometimes it takes a minute for people to come up with their objection. But if they say, oh, I just don't have the money, then you can then go to that objection. And I'll do a different video about how to overcome different objections. But if it's like, I don't have the money, for example, you could say, well, what would a change like this mean for you, right? Would it help you cut back, overcome the objection in ways that you've been trained to by your company. Okay. And I'll do another video on overcoming objections. I just want to give you this process. The next question, is there anything is there anything we haven't discussed that will affect your decision? So this is a way to kind of dig deeper and see if there's any other underlying objections. Okay, so those 2, 4 and 5, use those if you feel like somebody's resistant, if you feel like they have some kind of objection. And it's just a way for you to understand what's going on inside their head, right? You can't read their mind, but if you ask these questions, you can get a glimpse of what's going on and hopefully help them overcome some of their objections. A lot of times, even if the presentation was awesome, and even if people really want to buy, they're going to kind of test you, right? They're going to test your confidence, and they're going to bring up an objection just to see if you'll dance, right? And if you'll kind of shy away and be like, oh yeah, you're right, you probably can't afford it, or it's probably not for you, right? But if you're confident and you have posture and you know that what it is that you have is of value and will be of value to them, that's really the most powerful way to overcome objections. It's not even what you say, it's more the posture that you take when people bring up their objections, okay? Then step 6, this is my favorite part of the whole process, okay? And you can do this right after step 3, or you can do it after these objection ones, depending on the response you're getting from somebody. But the last question that you ask is, what do you think is the next best step for you? Okay, and then you just stop and you don't say a word until they respond. What do you think is the next best step for you? Okay. And they're gonna say what they want to do, right? The beautiful thing about this approach is there's no pressure. You're putting the ball in their court. You're giving them the power, and you're honoring their intuition, right? You're honoring the fact that they are going to know what's best for them to do in this moment, right? And typically, when you take that posture and you honor them, they're gonna not feel pressure, but they're gonna feel confidence in taking that step and buying into the product or buying into your opportunity. So the question is, what do you think is the next best step for you? Okay, that question, guys, is so powerful. You can use it in so many different ways, but it's a great way to end your close. And if they say, oh, I just feel like I need to learn more, then you can say, great, awesome. How about I put you in our Facebook group where we've got a bunch of content to help you learn more? And how about I follow up with you next week? right? And then you set up that next exposure. So remember, we learned in the GoPro book that we're always setting up the next exposure. You never leave an interaction without scheduling the next interaction. So even if somebody doesn't close after that question, make sure that you're setting up the next interaction where you can expose them to more information, okay? So that's it. That's the no pressure close process. Go ahead and print out the questions or write them down. Memorize this process, guys. It's going to serve you a ton in your business. If you liked this, comment below in the comments for this video. Let me know. I'd love feedback. And remember that as a network marketer, you're paid by your personal production and also by increasing the productivity of your team. Closing is one of the things that people have the biggest fear around. So if you feel like this would bring some clarity and would serve your team, go ahead and copy the link for this video and share it in your team Facebook group, or share it with an individual that you feel like would benefit from learning this no pressure close process. Okay, hope this was beneficial for you guys. If it was, subscribe to the channel for more training. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to learn next, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.